All right, coming up on this episode of Table Culture, we're going to be talking about a game called Hero Realms. If you're not familiar with Star Realms, then this won't make any sense to you. But Hero Realms is a 2015 game? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. 2016.
It's a
2016 game from White Wizard Games.
Yeah. And
So-
this is 2017 if you're looking at the
Campaign deck.
campaign deck. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about this in a second, so you're going to want to check it out. All right, we're back for another episode of Table Culture. Today we're talking about Hero Realms and Hero Realms campaign deck. So Graham brought this in, and I thought this would be a great video to do. So why don't we just talk about Hero Realms for a bit? So this is a 2016 game. It's a re-implement of Star Realms, right?
Yeah.
So like 4-color drawing system, and
Instead of like a Star Trekky kind of space battle theme, you have
it's fantasy.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's 4 factions, so 4 card groupings. So you have blue, red, green, and gold, I guess.
Yeah. Yellow. Yeah.
Or yellow, whatever the choice is. I don't actually know. I know more of the story behind Star Realms. I don't know if you know the story behind Hero Realms, like the flavor behind it. But effectively, just like most deck building games, you have a card draft available to you, and you have a starting hand of 10 cards. In this case, we have gold.
Yep.
And
Rubies.
and rubies, which are like extra trade. There's some combat cards and then special character cards, because
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about the campaign deck.
Yeah, we're both special characters. You have to. I mean, the game recommends, and I don't know if you can play it without these special character packs. But we've got. I'm playing as the thief, whose special things are. She has throwing knives, and rubies, which are a little extra money.
Yep.
Tim's playing as the cleric, who is a healer. Her special powers are healing related, and she also has support characters available to her, which can guard her.
Each character has character-specific cards in their starting hand, which we mentioned. Like the cleric has special followers, and she has prayer beads and a spiked mace, whereas the
Just throwing knives and rubies.
throwing knives and rubies for the thief. So what's the difference between the campaign mode and the regular mode? Because we know that the regular mode is like pretty much one player versus the other.
Yeah. Well, this one we're facing off against this boss called the Master. And each of mine, Tim's going to start once we start playing. If we start playing, Tim's going to start the game because he's the player to the in clockwise order from the Master. And every turn we start the game by a Master step, and the Master's going to draw one of these bad cards out of its deck. This is the Master's AI system. These are separate cards that are going to get shuffled in at some point too. They're mastery cards. But he's going to draw a card. We're going to have to, the active player, which will be Tim, is going to have to resolve the effects of that card. Whether it's, I think there's one of 5 types of cards that he's going to draw. Yeah, and like you see, they're all color. They're all aligned with a certain color that will trigger one of the Master's abilities.
Okay.
Yeah, so if it's a minion, it'll have this toughness value, and that's how much damage you actually need to do to it to stun it, put it back in its Master's discard pile, right? The Master's just like a player. This is his deck. It's going to be a minion, it's going to be an epic minion, or it's going to be a hazard, or it's going to be an action. Yeah, so we're going to have to deal with that, and then the Master's going to make an attack against Tim, and then Tim's going to finally get his turn. Yeah, and then that's when he's going to do a normal kind of
Standard
Hero Realm, Star Realms turn.
Yeah.
But the target is going to be the Master, and the Master's, like it says here, starts with 50 health. Our heroes have their own starting health too.
And it should be 50 health, because I think that's pretty standard.
Actually, it does say on one of these cards it's buried in, but I know that the thief is starting with 52, and the cleric has 55 health, if I'm not mistaken.
So like slightly different, but
Yeah.
Still in that range.
Yeah.
And
It's really, really tricky. It's really tricky. I mean, I'm just thinking this game is really, really, really hard. So just because, for example, like you can't target anything in the Master's area. There's areas of the game. There's your area, there's your friend's area, and then there's the Master's area. You can't target anything if you're pinned down. You have to fight the monsters that are ever in your area. And if you can't get enough damage to stun them, then they stay there.
Right. So they become like guards, just like in Star Realms where there's the outposts and the regular bases, right?
I mean, the master himself can actually get these elite minions around him, which can be guards. And then, there's these mastery cards, which it's recommended in beginner mode to leave out of the master's deck just until the master has gone through his deck once. So, like, you go through the whole deck, and then you reshuffle it, but you're going to reshuffle it a special way with these 5 mastery cards in it. Because when the master would get 3 mastery cards under his belt, he
evolves.
He evolves, and he gets really harder. So he starts drawing 2 cards out. So
I think there's a difference in strength too. Like,
if we do complete the game, the storybook included is gonna tell us how we get rewarded. Whether we get to upgrade our abilities. There's upgradable abilities. Like right now, we start a campaign with level 1 thief skill and a level 3 thief ability, but we're going to be able to up those. And there's like a whole tech tree.
It's a neat addition to an already tightly paced and fun deck building game, right? Like it just adds an interesting element of cooperation in something that's typically not like that. I mean, like, I think other examples might be Aeon's End, but I mean, this is, in my opinion, a much better game to bring to people who are not wanting to play with a lot of, like, you know, components and stuff. Like, that's why I like deck building, because it's always such an easy setup and teardown. And then obviously you can play it in a shorter period of time. I think an average game of Hero Realms takes half an hour, and so this is what, maybe another 15 minutes of playtime potentially?
Probably, yeah. I don't see this game lasting very long. So especially like I said, another reason why I wanted to start out on the easiest setting is just because it's a campaign game. We're all playing. I want to experience it, and I want to, and if it's easier, the games will be a lot quicker going. Yeah. And we may have a better chance of winning. And I'm pretty sure even on the easy mode, it's still going to be a challenge. Yeah. So
I mean, I know that there's a bit of controversy about Hero Realms, but to be honest, I think Hero Realms adds a level of depth that you don't always see in Star Realms. And that's not to say that I don't love Star Realms, but this is like, you can play this like 3 or 4 different ways. I mean, it's neat. I think that these guys have done a great job of developing this. Yeah,
and it looks like I haven't beat this guy yet. I only played the first few turns just to see how the game works, but it looks like it's very seamless the way he works. It's only 1 card you have to draw unless you level him up, where it says you have to draw 2 cards. But it's just like 1 card, and then it will trigger one of his abilities, and then he builds up an attack pool, and then you're.
So as an example, so like we just pulled it. So as a red card, so then he would use his red card.
Red ability, and it's you accumulate all of his attack pool in one little pool of attack that he's gonna deal to the active player at the end.
Plus, it has a special effect on the individual card. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so that said, I mean, I think this has been a pretty good overview of Hero Realms and the campaign mode of Hero Realms. We hope you liked it. We both love Hero Realms. I think it's a lot of fun. That said, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, leave us a like if you like the video. If you like Hero Realms, let us know in the comments, and let us know what your experience have been with the campaign deck, because I'm excited to try it myself. So that said, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you at the next round. Okay.
So
so you've gone over the things now. Okay, we've got some like background stuff. Let's like start the video. So I'll do my intro.
Oh, were we playing?
It was recording,
okay,
but I was just using his background stuff.
Cool.
So I'll I'll start the video. We'll do the 10-second intro. Okay. And then we'll go into the main video. We'll talk about Hero Realms in general, and then I'll lead you in to talk about how the campaign like adds things in there.